Hi, my name is Rebecca McComb. This is my windshield survey for Nursing 496. I've chosen two well-known neighborhoods in Riverside, California. The first is called East Side. It's a more impoverished area of Riverside, and the other is a neighborhood called Orange Crest. Orange Crest is a middle-class area of Riverside with desirable school districts and clean, safe parks. The general appearance of the two neighborhoods are vastly different. This is East Side. The housing was is older, built between 1950s and 1980s for the most part. There are many chain link fences in front yards of this area with appliances and other unsightly items in front of houses. There are boarded up businesses and others with homemade signs painted on the front face of the building instead of commercial signs. East Side has smaller parks without a lot of space, and there's trash on the streets and wind blown against fences. There's a high homeless population in this area, and the more north you go in the neighborhood, the more rundown with higher homeless population there is. This is the general appearance of Orange Crest. Orange Crest has street sweeper service that helps to keep the streets clean. The houses are generally track built, single family units with nice grass and yards. They're oftentimes 2 stories, large square foot. The businesses are kept up nicely, and the parks are large with room to exercise and for children to play and participate in activities. The East Side neighborhood has 2 zip codes, 92506 and 92507. The boundaries are defined by 2 major freeways, the 91 on the west and the 21560 freeway on the north side. The other boundaries are defined by major streets in the area, Chicago Avenue and Victoria Street. Orange Crest is better defined by the zip code it contains, which is 92508. The boundaries are not easily defined by major streets or freeways. Another way that people refer to this area is up the hill, because there is a long, steep drive to get to the neighborhood. The housing is much different in the 2 neighborhoods. East Side has many older apartment complexes that are not well kept, and the houses often do not have yards that are kept up or are friendly for children to play in. Most of the driveways are not paved, and there's often dirt where you would expect to see grass. In the Orange Crest area, the houses are large and have modest grassy front yards that are landscaped and a nice place for children to play. The homes are more expensive and are often 2-story tract-style homes, well manicured and landscaped. So conditions of poverty and signs of decay in East Side. Signs of poverty and decay are all over Riverside's East Side neighborhood. The roads are poorly maintained. Most houses have a chain link fence or brick and iron fence in their front yards. There's tagging in the area and gang activity. Living conditions are crowded with numerous apartment complexes and multifamily dwellings. Homes are run down with dirt driveways and front yards. There's a high number of homeless who have taken over much of the north end of the neighborhood. As you can see in the picture here, this is a kind of a homeless campout area. In Orange Crest, it's not really too run down or in much decay. The houses are large and well maintained with manicured yards and nice even sidewalks. The community has much larger parks and an active community center that conducts a multitude of community-based classes and active organization for children, such as the Orange Terrace Little League, and there's a youth cheerleading program at Orange Terrace Community Park. The roads are nicely paved and the school districts are desirable in the area. So the demographics of East Side, the population is mainly Hispanic there. 76.6% are Hispanic, 10.5% are Black, 7.8% white, and 2.8% Asian. 32% of people live below the poverty line in this area. 77.3% are family households. A little over half are renters, and the annual income for this area is $42,286, according to the U.S. 2010 census. There's a mix of household types, including young families, non-traditional households, including single mothers and multi-generational families, and elderly people. In Orange Crest, the majority of people are white people, 45.6%, and 29.3% are Hispanic, 12.3% Asian, and 8.8% Black. The poverty level, only 7.9% live below the poverty line in this area. 89.2% are traditional family households. 85.8% are homeowners. And the annual income per household is approximately $96,000. The majority of households are made up of families of heterosexual married people with young children. Here's just pictures of a few health behaviors and non-healthy behaviors like smoking and fast food eating, going to the doctor, healthy eating, overweight people, running, exercising, etc. Okay, so as a disadvantaged area, Eastside is riddled with problems that plague other poor areas with low socioeconomic status. Drug and alcohol abuse and smoking are serious problems for this area, as well as gang activity. There's a high homeless population, which often involves problematic lifestyle and health problems like mental illness, drug and alcohol abuse, and cigarette smoking. There is not adequate access to open areas to exercise, and there's no gyms in the area. People do often walk to get places, but there's poor walkability to useful places like grocery stores. There's not a grocery store in the area at all. The people of Orange Crest have notable lifestyle and health issues as well. Obesity and lack of exercise is evident. People must drive to get anywhere in this area. There's no walkability at all, and air pollution is a significant problem for both areas, as most places in Southern California. Parks and Recreation. In Eastside, there's 4 small parks. It's Patterson Park, North Park, Dario Vasquez Park, and Lincoln Park. These parks are small compared to other parks in Riverside. Just south of the southern border of Eastside, there's a large park called Bordwell Park, but it's difficult to tell if the residents of Eastside use this park or not. The 4 parks in the area have playground equipment for children and concrete basketball courts for children and adults to use. In Orange Crest, there are 2 pretty large parks. Orange Terrace Park has a large active community center that draws people from other areas of Riverside to join the organized classes and activities. There's a Little League team associated with the park, and there's other activities for family and children there too. The other park is called Thunder Sky Park. It's not quite as big, but still very large, and room for people to, do sport activities, exercise, run. All of that is able to be done there. For transportation, Eastside has quite a few buses that run through the area. It's kind of an inner city area, so the transit, many buses pass through it. There is 2 routes, the 13 and 52, that go to the Metrolink station. Private vehicle, and then people walk places also in the area. In Orange Crest, there are two bus routes, the 26 and 27, but for the most part, people use a private vehicle to drive around in this area. There do not seem to be any clinics or services to provide mental health in the Eastside area. However, there's several clinics in the region that do offer medical services. There's the University Community Health Center, Borrego Health Eastside Health Center, Health to Hope Clinic. In the immediate neighborhood, there were no police stations or fire stations, but there were some on the outskirts or in the neighboring areas. In Orange Crest, there is the Orange Crest Medical Clinic and Express Care. It's an urgent care. There's multiple dentists, there's a fire station and a police station that are right there in the area and that serve surrounding areas also. Education, the schools that serve Eastside are underserved and have a high population of homeless and poor children. The high school is on the north end of the area where there is high homeless population. Orange Crest has the most desirable schools in Riverside area. Young families often move to this area so that their children can attend better schools. Martin Luther King High School is the newest high school in Riverside. It's approximately 15 years old now, but it's still very nice, really big school up there. So here's the businesses and industry of Eastside. You can see here, this is a vitamin store and a beauty salon. There's bars on the windows. There aren't any open windows. You can't see inside. The storefronts are old and run down. Here's a Mexican food place. Probably has great food, but also the building is really old. And this is a car wash. It looks busy. People are going to it. But in the background, there's construction that doesn't seem to be active construction, and the signs are up there with kind of banner sort of cloth signs rather than like a normal sign you would see. Business of Orange Crest are well manicured, and the faces are clean and new. There's commercial signs. The pavement is clean and looks brand new. There's kinder care for working families, and the storefronts are clean. Signs of poverty in East Side. These are both kind of homeless camps or shanty towns or whatever you call them, but this is the northern end of it. This is a single-family household. The picture is small, but there's lots and lots of cars in this driveway, which leads me to believe that this is a crowded living environment. There's dirt instead of grass in their front area, and the majority is dirt. There's not a sidewalk. It just goes off into the street. Some signs of poverty in Orange Crest. There's shopping carts built up. The roads are kind of cracked here, but for the most part, it is well kept up. The interviews that I did for East Side, my first one was Maria A. She is a PA at the Riverside East Side Health Clinic. She stated that the clinic serves a very underserved population, and often people require extensive teaching that cannot be completed in the short time she sees them. She mentioned that some patients return to the clinic with the same complaint but never filled the prescription or followed up with the instructions they were given, either from not understanding or lack of money. Marnie S. is the activity coordinator at Dale's Senior Center. She describes various activities that the center provides, such as Spanish classes, potlucks, bingo activities, and other health-related classes. She says the environment provides seniors a place for social engagement and things that share common interests. Carlos P. has lived in East Side for more than 25 years. He said that he feels safe, but there is high gang activity, and it's gotten worse in the last 15 years. He still loves his neighborhood. Gabriella O. She's lived here all of her life. Her parents moved here in the 1980s. She says she uses the bus to get around town, and she wishes there was a closer grocery store to the area. So for Orange Crest, I interviewed Tracy C. She says she loves her job. She's a kindergarten teacher at John F. Kennedy High School. Most of the families she had mentioned are middle class households with high expectations for their children and concerns for safety. Tammy T. is an Orange Crest Community Center volunteer. She does aerobic classes. She said that classes are $7. The community center is very active. Matthew D. is a community member of Orange Crest. He says school districts are great. His oldest son is at King High, and his other son is at Amelia Earhart. He likes the teachers. He says the district's really great. And then Amanda T. says she loves her neighborhood. She just wishes that there was more walkability, and it's difficult to go up and down the hill. Reflections on this. I did enjoy this class or this assignment. It was quite labor intensive, but it was interesting to see the contrast between even a moderately middle class area and the stark poverty that people live in East Side. It seems that the city puts more money and interest into areas with higher income and provides more community activities to those areas that East Side and areas like it would benefit from also. These are my resources that I used here listed. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and look forward to this class and more activities. So thank you very much.